Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world.
Who sings that? I'm not gonna pretend to know.
It
Is
is
it the
what's his name?
Jeans?
The guy who changed
Oh,
his name. The Cat Stevens.
that sounds right.
Sure. Okay, I'll give it to you. Welcome everyone to the Pass Control Podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we do it a man down. Either way, we have a new episode for you each and every week. As always, I'm your host, Brenden, and joining me on this lovely Friday evening is the anime senpai himself, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Man down, where you from? Fuck who you know, where you from?
I mean, listen, it is the right weekend for that. It is the correct weekend for that.
That's all I got. You can carry on.
Also join Dom literally just texted me. Hold on. Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Cyberpunk sicko Todd Gary. Todd, how you doing tonight?
Yo, I'm here. Is Dom like I'm coming in right now?
No.
I don't know.
All right, let me just respond to him.
What's the deal?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. That was apparently very hard to send those text messages and also speak and pretend and multitask. So I'm back now, like I never left. But we had a great show for you tonight. Dom is last minute unavailable, so we're gonna roll through with a quick little episode, and then I don't know, depending on if Dom does pop in later, we might break this into two small episodes. We'll see how things go. But we had a great show for you tonight. We're gonna kind of just shit talk a little bit, talk about what we've been playing, talk about maybe the Super Bowl a little bit, and we'll just
Super Bowl.
go from there. Before we do that, a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode, of course, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, sweet, tasty, fresh out of the oven, you can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and educate yourself on these tasty treats. What else we got? The PTC Movie Club for February is my pick, and I chose The Boy and the Heron, which I believe is streaming on Max if you want to watch it there, or you can buy it, rent it, whatever you do to watch movies. We're going to talk about The Boy and the Heron at the end of the month, so make sure you watch that if you want to hear us chat about it.
I've tried watching it 3 times and I've fallen asleep within the first 10 minutes every time. But I did watch a movie about priests, and I was riveted the entire film and stayed awake till 1:30 in the morning.
I don't want to watch anything about priests.
I love Ray Fiennes. I love Ray Fiennes.
I do love Ray Fiennes. No, I haven't even watched The Boy and the Heron. Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
It's really weird that Todd so desperately wants a triple feature that he's turning The Boy and the Heron into a single movie triple feature by watching it 3 times. But yeah, we got a great show for you tonight. Before we, I don't know, I guess we'll just get into it. Mike, what if all right, I was like, my face looks blown out. I recorded this is a little pre housekeeping, because it won't be available if you're listening to this live. But I guess by the time this goes up on podcast feeds and YouTube, it will actually be a thing you can do. But I have a new drink video dropping tomorrow. If you're watching live, if not, the drink video should be available before the podcast is on podcast platforms. So I have a Super Bowl drink dropping tomorrow for Kendrick, and we'll leave it at that. Yeah. I almost texted you, like, when I was workshopping this drink, because I was desperately trying to make a drink that had mustard in it taste good.
God, no, there's no way.
I went through so many iterations, and I think part of my problem is that in my head I was like, mustard in a drink is not going to taste great. I like spicy stuff. Let me get a spicy brown mustard, because maybe I can just turn that into something better. And maybe if I used a yellow mustard, it would have been easier to kind of like play with that flavor and mask it a little bit. But let me tell you, the rest of the day when I was making those drinks, I could not get the taste of it out of my mouth. It was
I hate mustard so much.
Well, that's the other thing is I think I'm allergic to mustard. So like that wasn't helping the whole process. And like I don't know. I was convinced. I was stuck in my head because I was like, for PAX East last year, we did the cocktail panel, and for Jesse's drink, I made him a spicy banana pickle drink, which if you say all of those words and say that they're in the same thing you're going to drink together, it sounds like it shouldn't work, and it shouldn't work. But I made that work, and it was like pretty delicious, and I hate pickle juice. I was determined to make mustard work, and I might try it again in the future with yellow mustard. But I don't keep mustard in my house because I don't like mustard really. So
make the nastiest drink and just like make it like 3 parts mustard and fucking just this is delicious.
It was so bad, like to the point of like maybe my palate just hates mustard, or I'm trying this too much and I can't get over the flavor. So I think
that's gonna be too hard.
I made Jen try it, and she goes, "That is fucking disgusting." I'm like, okay, all right, nope, it's not just me, it's bad. So I almost made you come over to try that, Mike. Would you have tried that? Are you a mustard person? Are you a mustard person?
Yeah, I literally just ate a hot dog with ketchup and mustard.
All right, maybe.
Where are you eating hot dogs from? You firing them up over at your house?
Yeah. I've got some, I forget what the brand is, but there were some, and I was like, I should eat something. But I don't feel like making anything.
Okay, that's fair. So this sounds like maybe for some other thing we can fuck around with some yellow mustard and see what we can do.
I mean, the moment's passed.
Well, so, I mean, we could always do like a cookout, a summer drink,
I suppose.
Anyways,
summer mustard drink.
I don't know if I'll ever look at mustard the same. I couldn't get it out of my mouth. It was such a bad taste. I
can't even imagine mustard mixed with juices. It just seems
like at first, again, because I was like,
should just put mustard on the rim. There it is.
Or you could have thrown some jalapeno. What if you put like muddled jalapeno in there? That could have probably drawn out the mustard, maybe.
Maybe. So like the thing with mustard is that like I could have probably very easily made that work in a Bloody Mary, very easily. But I didn't want to make a Bloody Mary, so I wanted to like make a good drink with that. Anyways, it wasn't possible. At least not with the spicy brown mustard. It was so bad. I like strained it too, like with a sieve, because I wanted to like pull more of the like mustard seed or whatever else is in there. That like I wanted as much of it out of the drink as possible, and it still was just like, no, all this is just a mustard bomb. It was so bad, so bad.
What do you use for booze?
I went through so many versions of this drink, Todd, to try to hide it. I made a tequila-based one. I made a gin-based one. I made a bourbon-based one. Like, so many options.
You know what you should have used? You should have used the hazmat bottle.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The hazmat might have drawn. What is it? Is it called hazmat? Is that what?
Yeah. I mean, maybe a little bit. I think if I really, again, like another lazy, in my opinion, just for my own creative process, I feel like if I used ginger beer in there and like made a mule with mustard, like again, maybe the ginger would have balanced it a little bit, but I didn't want that. I wanted the snap to come from the mustard. I wanted you to know there was mustard in there, not just because I told you there was mustard. I wanted you to know it, but I didn't want. It's like no matter what I did, it just overpowered everything in the drink. It was just like, nope, this is mustard.
If you gave me a drink and there was mustard in there, I'd probably fight you.
Anyways, we got a great show for you tonight. I know I'm getting nauseous thinking about,
especially yellow mustard. Like I don't like mustard at all.
It was spicy brown mustard.
No, like I could probably I don't even like that.
I don't think you could have tolerated it.
Just thinking about yellow mustard, that shit fucking grosses me the fuck out. I can't do it. Makes me gag.
So I have a halftime themed Kendrick Lamar themed Super Bowl drink launching tomorrow on our YouTube channel that does not contain mustard. So, and I think it is a delicious drink. So you can enjoy that on Sunday if that's what you want to do. Anyways, Mike, what you got going on? What you been playing? What you been watching?
Nothing.
Been watching anything? Anything popping up?
Let's see. This past week, did Mythic Quest start this week? No. I mean, I'm watching it. I'm just trying to remember when it started, but I think it started the week before, but I didn't start watching until this week. So yeah, Mythic Quest season 4 started, and I have now watched one episode of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
How is that? I haven't
Oh,
watched
you
it.
gotta watch the second. That second episode's so good and ends on such a good cliffhanger. But like now, there's 3 more episodes after that. But
yeah,
is it it's like tied into the MCU too, or no?
it's alternate universe. But like there's like some like kind of things that parallel, but it's like definitely a different universe kind of thing.
Yeah.
What's your excitement level, Mike, for Captain America?
Not particularly high. Not because I think just because I've been given so much time to cool off on MCU stuff that I don't feel as compelled to see new things. And like I'm going to see it. But between, having all that time to kind of separate myself from the MCU, plus all the stories that have come out regarding the production of
Right. It's like it's got everything stacked against it right now.
It's got so much stacked against it. Like I'm gonna watch it, but there's no way, unless the movie is a certified banger, like, I don't know, something that it can recoup all the money that they've blown in it. It probably won't do well, regardless of.
Yeah, I'm worried. I don't think it's gonna do well. I hope it reviews well, and maybe it's just
maybe it'll review well, but I don't know if that's going to translate to it being a success.
I don't think it's going to review well. I hope it reviews well, but I don't think this movie's going to. I just and then Giancarlo getting thrown in like for the reshoot. So like they must have changed so much if they're throwing in new characters and everything that they didn't have it anticipated in this movie. Yeah, it's got its work to do. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I feel like everyone's super excited about Fantastic Four, so maybe that's going to help people be like, oh, maybe I should really watch this new. Maybe I can start getting back into fucking Marvel.
I feel like Fantastic Four at this point can stand on its own 2 legs. I think if you're excited for Fantastic Four, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be like, oh, I better get it, because like the two don't seem connected in any way other than them both MCU films.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I'm excited enough as I can be for I don't know. I'm excited to see a movie, I guess. You know what I mean?
I like what's the actor?
Anthony Mackie.
I like him like outside of. I'm not like a huge fan of like. I don't think like I think they're putting too much on him to carry this movie, and like he's never been like in anything. I don't know. Like I feel like he hasn't been like the huge parts of most of the movies, and I just don't know if he can carry a movie himself.
I mean, I don't think they're putting it on him in that way, for one, and two.
Mean, Captain America's a big role, though. You know what I'm saying? Like people like fucking love Captain America. I feel like this.
He is now the lead. He hasn't been the lead in the movies thus far.
But I will say that again, it's also like they are advertising it as a dual lead with Harrison Ford. Like they're not doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never got the sense that Harrison Ford was a dual lead.
Maybe dual lead is the wrong way to phrase it, but he's like heavily in the marketing campaign.
Yeah,
he's like heavily in the marketing campaign. Like it's.
But I feel like he's the antagonist. He is one of the antagonists. He's the antagonist that they've been willing to like play their cards on. They're not revealing all the other people that are actually.
I don't even know if that's the case, because I honestly don't expect him to be a major part of the movie. I don't expect Red Hulk to be a major part of the movie. I really just think they're hinging on like, hey, we got Harrison Ford in the fucking MCU, so we're gonna like lean into this marketing wise. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that too. I'm going into this movie with the mindset of I overall enjoyed the MCU Captain America show. I liked that show a lot. I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 episodes that were kind of whatever, but I liked a lot of what that episode did, and I liked the episodes that were like focused on Sam, like him in the boat.
Yeah, like going back to the old Captain, or like the old original Captain. Like
going to that guy and like their storyline, and
I was a little disappointed with that show, but like I think that show was so close to being great that like I think that's why I was disappointed.
Honestly, like, I think some of the worst parts of that show were when they like pulled the focus away from Sam. To be honest, like I liked what they were doing with him, and because is it the last episode where he puts on the armor and like the people outside are like talking about him? Is that the last episode of the show? He gives like a speech. He gives a speech. Yeah. Like I don't know. I liked that show a lot. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I don't think it was a perfect show. Like again, I think there were probably a couple episodes.
Perfect show. But another thing I liked from the show that is not going to be in this film is that I liked
the
Sam
villain
and Bucky hanging out.
Oh no, yeah,
same. That's like the best, and I don't think that was like I think that's like the best part of the like those guys. Those guys work so well together, and yeah, I think it's weird that Bucky's not in it, but he's going to be in the other one.
I also want to point out though that Captain America's utility in the MCU hasn't been a Captain America focused thing. Like Cap 1 is a Cap focused thing, but
yeah, everything else like
Winter Soldier and Civil War are you know, Winter Soldier a lot less, but like Civil War is essentially, you know, an Avengers movie. It has so many people in it, which isn't like a thing to like say the movie's bad. Because I actually like Civil War a lot. I just like like Captain America's First Avenger. That's what the first one's called, right? The First Avenger. Is that what?
My least favorite out of all.
Yeah, I don't think that movie is a movie people are like clamoring to watch again.
I liked it.
I liked it up until he became Cap, which is like makes no sense. But I just didn't like the director that they used for it.
I
thought you loved Rocket Man.
Rocket Man was all right, but like it's. I felt like it was like
Rocketeer. Sorry,
Rocketeer. Yeah. No, I knew he was saying though. I don't know though. Like I've always bitched about that movie, and like he finally becomes Cap, and then all of a sudden it was like, we're gonna have a montage, and then like there's like broken up action scenes that weren't like cohesive, and it was just like,
they just need to show that Cap and
he's been Cap for a little bit. Yeah. It's
we're like a good team.
Yeah.
It was like montage of him like in like
fighting
army propaganda, right? Wasn't that what it was?
Well, that was part of it, and then at a certain point, he does go off to fight in wars and like that.
Yeah, he's like fighting like Red Skull's people and everything, and like a couple different like battles and stuff.
Maybe I'm incorrect, and maybe there's a podcast somewhere in our 450 now 7 episodes where I have watched it again recently, but I feel like I haven't watched that movie in like 10 plus years. So
yeah, I've only watched it once.
I do think my opinion on it would probably be a little bit higher now, just because it's like you're going back to watch it after going through the MCU, where I don't know how I felt about it at the time, to be honest. It probably wasn't super hot.
I think at the time, like pre-Avengers 1, it was a fine film.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best, but, you know, it was one at the time.
A solid enough introduction of Captain, you know.
Listen, he's just the kid from the Bronx, you know, scrawny kid from the Bronx.
Yeah. I forget how we got to this tangent.
I just asked you what your excitement level was for Cap 4? Cap 4. I don't know if we were supposed to call it Cap 5 because of the show.
The show was not called Captain America, so you wouldn't.
Oh, it was called Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There you go.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't remember the name of the show. When I tried to say that I liked the show, I was like, what was the name of the show? I was like, Captain America. What was it called? That's why it wasn't called Captain America. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going into it with the proper level of like excitement for it, which is I'm not riding this high of the MCU. I'm not down on the film. I'm just kind of going as like, hey, I enjoy these films, so let's go hopefully enjoy this movie.
Yeah. This is the first time we're getting like a proper MCU film in theaters. So,
well, it's
in a while,
Deadpool,
which was different. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. It was different. Like, yeah, it didn't feel like it was MCU. It just felt like it was its own thing.
Yeah, it felt like it was more in line with the previous Fox Deadpool movies to me.
What did Shang-Chi and Eternals also not get?
It's been a while since those movies. They had theatrical releases. I'm just saying it's been a while since those movies came out. This is 2025. Those movies came out.
What year did we get Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and Guardians?
That might have been
2022, 2021?
2022 or 2023. Because last year was only Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So
Okay. Yeah. So no, you're right. It's been a while.
So yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because I was like, I was trying to, because Liam's watched like a good chunk of most of the movies. He watched Endgame, Infinity War, all that stuff. But I was trying to explain to him, I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like, me and Mummy were watching these movies one by one, building up into this crazy thing, and like, it's one of those things you had to be there kind of thing. I'm like, but you're about to get that with DC. And I'm not a big DC guy.
You're not gonna get that with
but
DC.
I'm
I don't.
no, I think I think we are.
DC.
I personally do.
Okay.
It's all hinges on Superman, and I think Superman looks incredible. So like, I'm super excited, and I hate
what
Superman.
I meant to do. I meant to
fucking hate
text
Superman.
you, Mike, when Harrison's was having that sale. I meant to text you when I went back the next day. Is the Superman movie based off of a specific comic?
Yeah.
No, I mean it might be, but I'm not aware of which one.
Hold on, I can tell you.
It's not important now. I should have bought it that day.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that it might be loosely based off of some comic, but I don't know which one it is.
I know I've read on it. I definitely know what it is. Hold on.
I mean, regardless, I don't. Superman is like a thing that does not get me excited.
Same.
I like
That's
James Gunn. I like the cast
surprised.
of that movie, specifically Lois.
Yeah, she's perfect.
So,
I was just telling Amanda how she's perfect for that role.
I may end up seeing it, but I'm not like gonna go out of my way. But when Mike's like, "I'm gonna buy tickets," I'll be like, "All right, yeah, sure." I mean, I'll go.
It's gonna be rough because it comes out the same, like around the same time as Fantastic Four. I don't think they're coming out the same day, but I think they're.
Oh,
close.
that's that.
I'll just do a double feature. Like I've got time.
Yeah, but that's gonna be really bad for one of those movies because I don't think a lot of people are gonna do double features.
One of them might blink if they're the same day. One of them might blink because I think that's what happens.
Someone was saying it's going to be like a Barbenheimer thing.
It's not a Barbenheimer. No, it's not.
No, but they had like a name for. Oh no, wait, was it Jurassic Park and something else? Maybe it was Jurassic. Because I think the new Jurassic Park looks really good. It finally doesn't have any children in it. Looks more like a horror.
There is a child in it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Ooh, what child? Who?
Did you not watch a trailer? There's like a kid. There's a kid towards the end. I think I read the plot synopsis. At some point, a family gets wrapped up. Like a family gets wrapped up.
Oh no!
There's definitely a kid in that movie.
You're ruining it.
Todd, there's also musical segments.
Yeah, right.
That's the only scenes the kid shows up, actually.
Yeah. I think All-Star Superman is what it's based on.
No, that can't be All-Star Superman.
Yeah, it takes inspiration from All-Star Superman. That's what they're going for the
maybe. Maybe it takes maybe that's what it is.
And the story for Supergirl, I love who they casted for Supergirl. Another character I don't give a fuck about. But I like who they casted to play Supergirl. I like all the casting they've done so far for these movies.
You know what would be fun, Todd, though? Like when... Oh, go ahead. You were going to say something. You say it
No,
first.
that's it.
I was just going to say, because you were talking about, like, you know, obviously we all were able to grow through, you know, live through the MCU as it was happening. When your kids are a little bit older, though, like if they're still interested, you could just like, hey, every week let's watch one. Like we'll watch them in order. You know what I mean?
I mean, we kind of did that recently. We skipped like Thor 2, Thor 3.
No, I think doing it. Then you're not doing it.
Yeah, no. But we watched like a good chunk of them.
You got to get the highs and the lows. You can't skip. No skips.
Yeah, right.
No skips.
No skips. Yeah, it's funny because I've been talking to because the older Liam's getting, he like, you know, I was watching a trailer for World War Z because it was like on like one of the streaming services. I'm like, I never seen this. He's like, oh, he's like, I want to watch that. I'm like, I don't know. You guys might think it's scary, but it's PG-13, so it's like, I mean, I don't know. And then I was like, well, maybe you might like I Am Legend. And he's like, ooh, I want to watch that. So I was showing him all these old trailers today, and I'm like, oh man, you got a lot of movies to catch up on. You know, it's like, and we haven't even gotten to our ones yet.
I Am Legend.
You know they're doing a sequel for I Am Legend.
Will Smith one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Book of Eli is Denzel.
Denzel, yeah. That was kind of disappointing, even though I like it. I like the twist. I like that movie somewhat, but
World War Z is Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm a fucking movie guy now. Look what you've done to me.
Yeah, that movie, but
yeah, I don't know. Well, before we just like have a whole episode be whatever the fuck this is, what have you got going on, Todd? What have you been playing besides? Whatever.
I've been playing a little game called Cyberpunk.
Sell us on Cyberpunk right now. You have 1 minute to convince either Mike or I or both of us why we need to play Cyberpunk.
All right, pull up Google and just type in Pan Am, and that is why you play Cyberpunk. No, I mean, listen, listen. Cyberpunk it's literally. I feel like sad when I've been away from the Cyberpunk the world, Night City. I like love going back to Night City. I love there's so much to fucking explore in that game. So much to do. It's literally like the story's awesome, but like I fucking love Night City and I love Keanu in it too. But I mean, listen, I don't need to sell you on that game. That game's a game you got to play at some point, and I'm not going to rush you to play it. I want you guys to play it if you're going to go all in. I don't want you to play it if you're just going to fucking rip through the story. I want you to actually go all in. So whenever you're ready, you go in, and then we'll talk.
Okay. All right.
If I win the thing,
that's the game.
No, but I don't know if I want to force you guys to play that. I want you guys to play that on your own. I don't want you to be like a thing like I gotta rush through Cyberpunk now. Like I don't know.
See, if I had to play it though, I would just play it. I like it wouldn't be. I mean, it would be a rush, not like a forced rush. It would just be like, oh, this is the thing I'm gonna be playing when I play games.
Yeah, because like even like now, like when I first played the game, I barely fucked around with like the augmentations you can do to your body. Now on like my fourth playthrough, I'm like doing this thing. It's called the Sandiviso. You press your 2 buttons, you slow down time, you can throw knives. You're like basically like dancing around people, and then you literally press it, everything. They're all dead.
Yeah.
And before that, I was shooting like a rocket out of my arm, and that's the only thing I was doing. I wasn't really fucking around with shit. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot to do in it. But I said this last podcast, but it's literally GTA. If GTA was fucking amazing, like I know people are gonna be like GTA is amazing, but like. I only like GTA Online. I don't fucking really ever care about the story of GTA.
Yeah. I've been primarily just playing Metaphor. I am very close to finishing this game. And I will now confirm what I had a feeling of last year, but I felt weird about saying it when I hadn't played enough of that game. If it wasn't my game of the year, it was like right behind Balatro by a fucking hair. Like this game is so fucking good, and I'll talk more about the game in my full thoughts maybe next week if I finish it by then. But whenever I do finish it, I'll dedicate a deeper conversation to it on the podcast. So I won't say much here, but what I will say is, I heard from a lot of people. I haven't read people's reviews. I've avoided any spoilers for this game. I haven't talked to anyone about the game really at all, other than like, some of our friends of the show that I know have either they've reviewed it or they've played it already. So I as I am playing, will talk about what I am feeling as I'm at certain moments, and they're just like responding to me in that time and not like giving me more or less. They're just kind of like, responding to that. And the thing that I heard a lot of people say before when people were like asking about Metaphor, oh, I like Metaphor, oh, well, whatever, will I like it? Aside from people saying, which I agree with, if you have an interest in Metaphor, I don't know if the demo is the thing that gets taken down or not, but the demo is a great slice of that opening part of the game. I think it's like 10 hours of the game. So if you are interested in playing Metaphor and that option is still there, that's like, download the demo. It carries over. So if that's a thing you want to test out, there it is. But some people would say like, oh, story's good, but like when it gets to a certain point, then it's just like snap roller coaster story for the rest of the game. And I was already from the jump of this game super invested in the characters, the story. I really wanted to know what was going on. I wanted to learn more about this world. And then when I got this past week to the point that I think people were alluding to, when that shit started to happen, I was like, I already loved this game. My love for this game was already super high, and now it's like thermometer burst and just fucking love for this game is spraying everywhere. And I'm like, there's not a moment that goes by where I have free time where I'm like, I need to be playing Metaphor right now. I need to see how this game ends. I need to see what's going on. It is so good. To the point where I was telling Mike the other night, we were out having a couple of cocktails, a little Tiki Tuesday. I can't say this yet until I finish the game and I've had some time to think about it, but it already,
better than Persona.
I was gonna say it's making a case for itself for me to maybe put it ahead of Persona 5. We'll see. I love Persona 5. It wouldn't take Persona 5 off my favorite games of all time. It would just, go a notch above it maybe. But I can't make that call until I finish the game. And
so you play Persona 4 Gold.
Well, I mean, so at some point this year, since I didn't get to it last year, will be Persona 3 Reload. I desperately want to see what that game's all about, because I think one or two different people last year told me, where I was like, fuck, man, I'm running out of time. I'm not going to be able to play Metaphor for the year's over, let alone start Persona. And I want to say at least one person, if not two people, separately said to me, part of me wants to tell you to not play Persona first and not play Metaphor, because they're like, I think Persona 3 Reload might be the best Persona game, if not better than Metaphor. And I was like, that's fucking crazy that you're saying that to me, especially when both of these games came out this year. Granted, Reload is a remake, but still, that's a wild year for Atlas, if that's the case.
Oh, check it out. It turns on.
You got it working again?
It turns. I found the charger. I
gotta find my charger. I can't find it.
And I was like, let me just see if this works. And I plugged it in, and I had to let it charge for a bit, but it does turn on. The problem is, the last time I was messing around with it, I broke the memory card, so the memory card doesn't work. I don't have any of my games.
Ooh.
Well, you can download them from the shop still, right? Yeah.
I don't think there's room on. I don't think there's. Yeah, number one, I think the shop might not exist anymore.
Well, you would have to just buy a new card, but you.
The cards are expensive. It's stupid.
Yeah, because they're proprietary cards. They're not regular cards.
Exactly.
I might have an extra 4 gigabyte one here, and I definitely don't need a second one. So if I do, if you remind me the next time you come here, I'll look for it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I think I think a year or two, maybe the year that the Vita was basically going extinct. It was that year. Remember, I bought a bunch of random Vita games for $5 a piece.
Yeah.
That same year, I found, I think, an extra memory card, and it was $2, and I was like, I don't know what I'll use this for, but I'll buy it for $2, and I did. So I should have a memory card somewhere.
Was there a reason why they bailed on the Vita and never made a successor? Was it not successful?
I mean, it was their second handheld. They had the PSP Go, or they had two handhelds. I guess two before PSP.
I had both of them. I loved both of them. Bro, you know what I used to do? I used to play fucking in my parents' house before I even had Wi-Fi. I would sit in the bathroom of our upstairs with a chair, holding my PSP, playing Siphon Filter online, leeching off the person across the street's internet just so I can play Siphon Filter online every single night. Probably look like a weirdo sitting in my bathroom window.
It's weird that you brought your Vita up, Mike, because mine is also sitting in front of me. It's very dusty right now. Oh. So dusty that you can see that I wiped my finger to see if it was dusty, and I did that so long ago that there's now also dust across my finger mark. No, I brought it in here because I meant to look to see if the battery was broken. I need to take it apart and see if I need to pull the battery out of it. I'm getting nervous. I don't want it to break for that reason. Because I have... What was the Vita that they finished with? Was the one that they finished with the OLED, or did they stop making the OLED and made a cheaper one?
No, actually,
I think they stopped making the OLED and then they made a cheaper one. So I bought an OLED one before they went away. So I don't want this to break.
I have an OLED one.
I think I have an OLED one too.
Yeah, I think they made a cheaper or a worse screen one after, or not an OLED at least.
And I love that. I love that fucking thing, man. Best handheld ever.
I mean, I'm just turning it on now and playing with it a little bit. I'm like, this is, it's kind of nifty, but it went up against the was it the DS or the 3DS at the time? I don't remember which.
I don't know if that was trash. So it was so much better. I don't know why anyone did.
3DS had a terrible launch, but I don't know. The Vita has its own problems. The 3DS ran into problems because it was expensive when it came out. Didn't have that great of a launch lineup of games. And I think it was in the era where phone mobile gaming was massive, and I think that more people were deciding do we need to have a dedicated handheld game thing when my phone can do similar things? So I think that was like part of the struggles. I don't know if that also affected the Vita. I feel like the Vita went away so long ago.
The proprietary
it's been a long time.
Definitely did not help it.
Been 9 years, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same problem the PS3 had. So,
because like, I think I've got what broke in mine is either an 8 or a 16 gig memory card.
Oh, sorry, you said the memory cards.
Yeah, the memory card.
I don't know if the Vita also had, like, PlayStation 3 had like specific inner workings that made it difficult for people to port games to and stuff. I don't know if the Vita also had like a similar issue.
But the memory cards were like stupid expensive for those sizes, and like it just made it annoying.
Yeah. I don't know. Someday we'll do a deep dive on the Vita. I haven't played enough Vita to do that. We could do it if you guys want to. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I don't want to.
I don't know. At the sake of running too long, just because it's been a weird night. The last thing that really, really quickly, another game that I've been playing this past week. I'll talk more about it next week because I haven't finished it, so I don't want to like fully speak on it. But I'm playing an indie game called Spirit Swap, which is like a panel upon Puyo Puyo style puzzle game where you're like flipping the gems, like flipping or whatever the little guys. In this, it's not little guys or gems; it's like little symbols. But and you're trying to match 3. Obviously, you can match more and other things going on. But it's pretty interesting. I mean, it's a fun puzzle game. It's not by any means, I don't think, one that's like you gotta go play this game. But if you're looking for another match 3, Puyo Puyo style puzzle game, I think it's definitely worth checking out. It has a fantastic soundtrack. It has like a full original lo-fi soundtrack made for it that's like fucking like I'm chilling out playing a puzzle game. I'm chilling out with fucking delicious tunes. Like it's like a very good vibes based game. Has good artwork. There's like there's a nice little story around it with some romancing options if you're into that. So there's some cool stuff that they're doing with it. I'll give my full opinion on it when I finish playing it. So probably next week. I don't think it's that long of a game. I just haven't had a lot of time this week with other stuff going on, but I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, it's a fun little puzzle game, so I always down to check out a new indie and always down to check out a new puzzle game. That's for sure. So it's from Soft Not Weak. I believe it's their first title. So glad I got a chance to check that out. The last thing that I'll bring up before we wrap things up here is, without Dom here, I don't know if anyone even cares about the actual football game portion of it. Do either of you have an opinion or hope or prediction? I hope Kansas City loses.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
It's the Chiefs versus who again?
Philadelphia.
Yeah, I've got no horse in this race.
Ever since the Patriots haven't been making playoffs, I just don't fucking care about the Super Bowl anymore.
Yeah, I mean, really that's don't. Fair.
And honestly, and ever since like everything comes out now before the Super Bowl, all the commercials now, it's like there's really no reason for me to fucking watch anything unless, it used to be like you would be excited to see the commercials. Now you can like watch all the commercials like the fucking 2 days before, 3 days before. They always leak.
Do they?
They have the last couple of years.
Is that true, Mike? I feel like I would know that if that.
I wasn't listening. The
commercials leak.
Like a lot of movie trailers and shit.
I think they do make an effort of like a couple of them just come out before the Super Bowl, which is weird. But
I think what they've been doing, at least this year, which I think is actually, it might even be more annoying, is they're like doing commercial teases. Like
they've been doing that.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought they've been doing that. I don't know. It's just like
remember, there's been a couple of years where leading up to the Super Bowl, companies would make some sort of announcement saying like, "Oh, this is happening" or whatever, and they'll have teases for the actual commercial that comes out. Well, remember, it wasn't for the Super Bowl, was it? Remember when Snoop Dogg's like, "I'm giving up smoke."
Oh yeah, that was last year.
I'm pretty sure that was the Super Bowl. Yeah.
That was the Super Bowl. He's like, "I'm giving up smoke." And it's like, yeah, he's doing a solo stuff commercial.
Yeah.
Or what else? There was that one where like
you loved the
Peanut
DoorDash one or whatever. or Uber or whatever it was, where it was like a super long, like you had to type in this everything that they said in the thing. And maybe you didn't like the commercial, but it was a memorable thing, I guess.
It was memorable. I know we tried getting it, but by the time you maybe figured that one out, it was too late.
You were saying something else though. Oh, Mr. Peanut died.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut died, and like he came back as a baby. I feel there was an M&M one, the candy. I forget exactly how that one was structured though.
Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, there's like sometimes ones that hold up or hold, like that, like stay in your brain past that. But I don't know. I'm not. I don't know. If there's a cool movie trailer, I'll be excited. But that's the stuff I feel like that leaks.
All that stuff. It's not even that leak. They just put it out before. Because to be honest, I think you probably get more eyeballs just putting it online than the Super Bowl. We're past the point where like everyone's tuned into the Super Bowl. Like you can get as many people or more just putting out saying like, "Here's our thing. Come watch it."
Maybe with more like directed ads, that's different because like, are you going to YouTube to type in M&M's ad without like being like, I remember this commercial? It's like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
that stuff is probably different, but trailers is different. Yeah,
trailers are different. That's what I'm saying. Trailers are different. Everything else, not so much. You need that exposure to be like for your ad to then become viral.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hopefully there's some fun stuff. I mean, I'm primarily watching it for the fucking halftime show, so I don't really care. I would love the Chiefs to lose, so I'll be occasionally looking at the score of the game to see if Mahomes loses because I'm sick of Mahomes, but otherwise I don't really care that much. So, do either of you have some wants or predictions for Kendrick's performance? So it seems very clear SZA is going to be there with him. Is there anyone else you hope pops out and shows?
Not necessarily. I
don't need anybody else, but I don't know if either of you.
I don't need anybody else to show up. I mean, I feel like anybody who showed up on his Amazon thing is on the table to show up here.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd say that's fair. Yeah, I feel like
I don't have any hopes or needs for anyone to do that. I'm just saying like that is a distinct possibility.
I think there'll be a distinction too. Like, I don't know if there'll be anyone else that comes out and does a verse or does their song or anything, but I do expect other people from TDE to be out there with him. So like I expect like Schoolboy Q, J-Rock, Absol to be out there because I don't know. One, that's their boy. Also, two, like this is not meant in like a disrespectful way, but like, are any of them gonna ever do the Super Bowl? Probably not. Super low chance of that, I would imagine. So like, cool experience to be like, yeah, I'm not gonna do one of my songs, but like, I'm out here with one of my fucking ride or dies on the fucking stage. I wouldn't be surprised if in that same vein his cousin also does the same thing, Baby Keem. Just because, again, like, probability that he is a Super Bowl act at some point, who knows? Probably not. But again, have the opportunity to go out there with your cousin. Yeah, I would probably take it in a heartbeat. I think I would be surprised if Dre showed up. Only because I feel like it's a lot of Dre. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of Dre.
Okay. Oh, hear me out. What if he brings out Drake? He squashes the beef like in halftime. Imagine. I mean, I would hate it. I would hate it, but like
that would be literally the talk. Like,
it would be the biggest thing ever.
The next day I would be like, I don't remember who won the Super Bowl, but Drake and Kendrick squashed their beef live on television. Certified lover boy, certified best friend.
Please don't let that happen. Yeah. Drake comes out in a hoodie with bullet holes, smoking and everything, and fucking.
He did do that at his concert. I know.
He's
a clown. He's a
and then Kendrick really shoots him on stage, and fucking real bullet holes start smoking. Oh, dude, there's so many options.
Listen, you saw. I forget what is the commercial. Is the commercial for the album? Was it for something else? Lil Wayne's doing a commercial that's gonna air during the Super Bowl.
I don't know what it's for, but he does have the next Carter 6.
The Carter, yeah. I don't know if the commercial is for Carter 6 or if it was for something else, and then they're also like saying like I'm working on this album.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Lil Wayne came out. I don't think Lil Wayne.
I doubt it's I don't think so. I feel like they made it a big deal. That's what the commercial hinges on. The fact that it's like, I can't do the Super Bowl because I have to record my album.
Yeah.
Like, why is he making a big deal about this Lil Wayne about the Super Bowl?
Bro, I don't know. It's crazy. And
listen, listen, and this is going to be like a hot take, but maybe it's not. But I feel like he hasn't been relevant since like 2012, 2011. Like he's not like.
But I would argue
it's happening in his home. It's happening in his home.
Well, that's another thing. Okay, so okay, I'm going to respond to both of you. One, I don't think you necessarily have to be like top dude of the current time to be a Super Bowl act, because that has definitely not always been the case. They just get like huge acts.
When Dre and all them did it, I don't think they were like at the top. They were just
but you can't even put Dre and those dudes on the same sentence as Lil Wayne. I'm sorry, but I just fucking can't.
And then to respond to Mike's thing, I mean, it's not like hey, the Super Bowl's in this place, so we're gonna have this art. It's not like a thing that they're like are always doing. You know what I mean?
They're always doing, but yeah. Like, listen, I understand that, he was pretty big. It's like, hey guys, if you guys are gonna have like a big event and you need a musical act, I'll come and represent my town. Like, if we had a Super Bowl in Gillette, if Mark wants to perform, sure, let him do it.
Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, if the Super Bowl was in fucking Gillette, Mike, you want fucking New Kids on the Block to be the halftime show?
Well, them or New Edition, yeah.
Anyways, I think the more realistic thing is that I don't know if he solely makes the decisions. If not, he's a part of the conversation. But Jay-Z is like in charge of booking that. Like, he's in charge of doing that for the last, 5+ years, I think. Which is why I think you've just seen a lot more, I would argue, better halftime shows and a lot more non-white acts. I mean, you had the Dre Super Bowl, you had the Rihanna Super Bowl, Beyonce did
Maroon 5 do it like a couple years ago?
I didn't say every year, Mike.
I'm loving the downfall of Jay-Z right now. I'm not gonna lie.
Where's the downfall of Jay-Z? Where's this?
People have turned on Jay-Z. Like, everywhere you go. I'm telling you, just like
I've not heard anyone turn on.
Dig into it. I'm telling you. People associate Jay-Z with Diddy these days. Like, they fucking like.
Well, yeah, someone did try to initiate a lawsuit with him. I don't know where that stands, if it got dropped or not, but someone did try to say that, questionable things about Jay-Z. It'll suck if it's true, because I do like Jay-Z. So, but listen, I fucking love J. Cole. I still can't really listen to J. Cole music, and it's like kind of hurts.
Why? Why would he do?
Because he tried to go after the GOAT. He tried to go after Kendrick. And I'm just like,
and then he apologized. Though you gotta
apology stuff. I like. No, I like actually do like that. It was just that, like, listen, I think J. Cole is a very talented writer.
J. Cole, outside of like putting up the diss track, he made the best. He's like, listen, you know what? Take it back. I'm out. Forget it all happens. Listen, we're cool.
He didn't open like his fucking third eye. He opened like 27 eyes and was like, he could see what was going to happen to Drake. And he was like, no.
He said he, cracked open the Byakugan, 8-palm, tri, pentagram, whatever it was. He's like, never mind. I don't want this.
I can't tell you a single J. Cole song. I don't think I've ever listened to.
That's because you're not a real rap fan. I get it.
I've just never listened to. I don't know why. I just haven't.
Him and Kendrick have been my like new school goats for a long time. I fucking love those two. And J. Cole, honestly, at points would be like someone I would maybe put above Kendrick. Like they'd go back and forth for me. I like their music a lot, but it wasn't even the apology thing. The apology thing I respect.
There was maybe it wasn't a big 3. Maybe it was just a big 2. Maybe they just said, it's a big 2. You two guys. None of this would have ever happened.
Listen, but when he did put out the diss track that he then took down and apologized for, like, it was kind of whack, in my opinion. And then, like, he tried to make the, which, whatever, and rap beefs, you're always saying shit. But he, like, tried to make the claim that Kendrick didn't have any good albums besides the first album. Like, he basically flipped Ether and was like, I think that's what he did in the song. He was like, you got one classic album for every whatever the fucking, I'm pretty sure that's what he did. Unless I'm just making that up. But he did call out saying like, oh, you only have one classic album and the rest of your catalog is trash or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe never mind. Maybe you're just trying too hard. So, I don't know. Someday I'll come back to J. Cole, I hope. But like Apple Music, which is what I primarily use for music, has like started putting mixtapes on to Apple Music. And Friday Night Lights and The Warm Up, I don't know if they put more on since, 2 of J. Cole's like, they're basically albums, and I would argue that they're better than some of his actual albums. They got added on there, like nice remastered versions. I downloaded them to my phone. I haven't listened to them. I was almost like, GNX is right there. Oh shit, Damn is right there. I can just hit, oh, here's Damn. Oh shit, Mr. Morale and the Big Step is right there. I can just listen to that. So, I don't know. Not really feeling it. Any songs either of you hope he does?
Good question.
I mean, just off the top of my head, Kendrick songs that I know.
Oh, I know what I would want. Okay, go ahead.
No, Todd, I want to hear yours first because I feel
the song from Black Panther with SZA. I'd like to hear that. I think SZA's definitely going to come out.
All the Stars? Is that All the Stars?
Yeah, All the Stars. Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine they'll probably do at least 2 songs together.
Right.
They'll probably do Luther from GNX, and then unless they do 30 for 30, which is off of SZA's new album. But All the Stars would be dope. And All the Stars, so I don't know if you know this about the Black Panther album. I think when the Drake and Kendrick beef started to bubble up a little bit more, from what I understand, from what I've seen and read on the internet and like researched, is that because the Black Panther original soundtrack and the album were like, it was like produced by Kendrick. It was like he made that album.
His album, basically.
It's basically his album. And I think Drake was very not quiet about the fact that he's like, well, like he wanted to be on that part of that project, and he was like, no. And in All of the Stars, if you listen to Kendrick's verse, it's like he is talking to Drake. It's kind of crazy. Like, so it's a big possibility that they do that song for a lot of reasons. It's also a really good song, which makes me think if they do that, like, I don't know, is there a chance we get Catch Me on My Bullshit? I can't think of the name of it. King's Dead?
King's Dead is the one that I was going to say. I wanted to do King's Dead.
If they do that song and Future comes out in the Super Bowl says la-di-da-di-da schlop on my knob, you can't beat this performance. You can't beat this.
Yeah. It'll go down as one of the greats. King's Dead is a song I really like, and I hope they do. What was that song?
Oh, the verse is "Don't congratulate me, I don't like you" from All the Stars, because I guess Drake congratulated him for beating him in sales on his last album, and he like has the line in All the Stars where it says, "Where is it? Don't congratulate me, I don't like you." Basically, which I mean, pretty much seems.
But
like
he says more directly at him. What were you gonna say, Mike?
I was trying to remember the song from Good Kid, Mad City that I liked. They probably got me down by the end of the song.
I would love to hear that. Yeah. Man down. Where you?
So
that's so good.
It's unfortunate because they probably wouldn't do that song because he did that song at the. I would imagine he's not going to repeat The song when he
he did that with the Dre one.
Yeah, the Dre one. I think it starts with
2 swimming pools. Then come on.
I think it starts with
swimming pools would be like a really cool performance in terms of like if they do some crazy shit up on the stage
with the audience and everything. Yeah.
I think they're gonna do some crazy shit. I'm pretty sure his performance at the previous Super Bowl, which that's the other thing you got to think about, like in the context of the beef specifically, is what was like the tipping point was the Drake J. Cole song First Person Shooter, where constantly in that song Drake keeps saying it's like the Super Bowl, me and Cole, like all this stuff, like keep saying it's the Super Bowl. And then all this shit happens, and now here we are, and it's like, no, actually it's Kendrick at the fucking Super Bowl, and it's not you two, you motherfuckers. And besides that, this is the second time that Kendrick's performing at the Super Bowl, which is even crazier. But I think he started with All Right, and then I think it went into Good Kid, Mad City.
Was that the song? Yeah,
the song is called Mad City.
Okay, I couldn't remember because I was like, the album's called Good Kid, Mad City. What's the name of the song? Yeah, it's just Mad City.
I think that song is called Mad City. Yeah, because it transitions to that part, at least that part of the song where it's like, man down, where you from? Like I think it just transitions to that part.
What if, hear me out, he brings out Brendan's favorite band, U2. For
I like that song.
Triple X.
I like that song. I don't really care about U2 at all, but I do like that song. Any other songs you hope that he pops out with, or no?
Hold on a second. How does that song go?
I bet you I feel like DNA could probably be in there. He didn't do that at the other one, did he?
No, DNA would be a good one.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm curious about. Like, is he gonna just do the new album? Is he gonna do other stuff?
So there's all original disc material. That's it. He does.
That would be crazy. How long is the Super Bowl performance? 15 minutes. He just has a whole new 15-minute disc track. That would be fucking crazy.
What was that song? Martin Have a Dream.
Oh yeah,
Martin had a dream. Kendrick have a dream.
That's Backseat Freestyle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be a wild song to do at the Super Bowl. I mean, he has a lot of wild songs that would be wild. I mean,
I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. God damn.
No, they got to do it now.
That would be crazy.
So good.
The other thing is, like, you know, Kendrick is no stranger to like speaking with his music and speaking with his art and like making statements and stuff and taking stands. The NFL also this week said that they're taking end racism off the fucking end zones. So, and I'm pretty sure Trump is going to be at the Super Bowl. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what his plans are, but this is when it was announced, which feels like fucking forever ago now, that he was going to be doing the Super Bowl. I was like, man, I want to fast forward time because I can't wait for this. This is going to be so incredible. I cannot wait for this. And now we're literally on the edge of it. And I'm like, I have so much food I'm gonna cook. Like I already like plan out what I'm gonna be drinking. I'm so excited for this 15 minutes of Sunday, where the rest of the day I don't give a fuck about. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think. Do we think Not Like Us is a lock, or do you think that it's like still?
I feel like it's the big thing, and like. You have to play it, you know.
Well, so I think regardless he would have played it, but I'm more wondering about with the lawsuit situation. If you think it's a lock still.
Oh.
Just because Drake keeps trying to sue Universal. To say it's like
it only makes the song more powerful.
Which is, I was just gonna say, which is like the dumbest move you could possibly do.
So
to get disrespected by all his peers, like I said, I've been listening to Drink Champs, and they're just all like, dude, like they're all shitting on him. For,
it's all clown shit. It's clown shit.
Yeah, it's
there were definitely people who were like, you know, they might do a version of the song where they don't like do the A minor part or do whatever. They don't do certain things.
The only thing, the last part where he sings about fucking
Slavery.
Colonizers, yeah, and slavery.
What if, hear me out, what if he does Squabble Up with fucking espresso? Have you seen that remix? Like they put the espresso, it works so well. It's just like the beat of espresso.
Sabrina up there, I'm in.
What? Oh my god! What if he had Taylor come out just to do Bad Blood and then left?
I wouldn't
That'd
be surprised at all.
Crazy.
She's never done the Super Bowl, right?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
And Travis is there. So
Travis is there.
Shit! And she's clearly a Kendrick fan,
right?
And she's clearly chosen a side in this beef. That would be crazy. That would be fucking crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I think Not Like Us is a lock. I think the Grammys showcasing it in that way makes it more of a lock. The fact that like they were okay with doing that there. So my prediction is, and it won't be full. Like a lot of these songs probably won't be full songs because they're gonna cram a lot of stuff mashed in there.
Yeah.
So my prediction is gonna be not in this order, though. I do think him coming out to "Psst, I see dead people" is like a cool way to come out. So maybe it starts with that.
TV Off is definitely a lock, right?
So, okay. When the album dropped, literally the day the album dropped, you can look back at my Blue Sky. I was like live skeeting through my impressions of listening to the album. And either immediately or like shortly after the album came out, I said like, I hope to God like the back half of this song gets played at the Super Bowl. And now that the song has like sort of blown up into its own monster, I feel like it's a lock. But also on the special, he did like an extremely small drop of clothes for his Super Bowl performance, and the shirts and the sweatshirts say, Super Bowl, Roman numeral, whatever fucking Super Bowl it is, 2024, and in the middle it has his name in cursive with a football, and then underneath that it says "Foot up on the gas, but somebody got to do it." So like they're definitely playing that song. Like
they're definitely playing that song.
So TV Off I think is a lock. Not Like Us I think is a lock. I think he might do. I hope he does his verse from Like That, because that beat's a fucking banger. There are personal favorites that I don't think would be like Super Bowl performance songs, so I won't even like try to throw those into the ether. But I will say I would love for a song off of Mr. Morale, and I would want it to either be like N95 or Rich Spirit or Count Me Out, one of those, a portion of one of those songs. And something from Damn, at least one song from Damn's got to make an appearance out there, whether it's DNA or Element or
Humble.
Or Humble, yeah. I mean, I would personally prefer DNA or Element over that, but I would take anything off that album because I love that album. It'd be cool if he just did one from each album. You know what I mean? At least like kind of just showcased his breadth, because he's got a fucking good discography. So
can we bet on DraftKings what songs we think he's gonna play?
Maybe. I'm sure they find ways to take your money in all those regards. But what I was gonna suggest is, for points this week, do each of you want to pick 3 songs that you think will be played? Not Like Us cannot be a pick, because I think that's too easy of a pick.
I have to think about this.
So you can win up to 3 points.
Don't tell Dom either.
I'm gonna text him right now. So you got to put the personal wants and needs aside. What do you think Kendrick's gonna pop out?
Definitely Not Like Us. That'll be my first one.
Yeah, I feel like some portion of TV Off has to be in there.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Let's see. DNA or humble? DNA or humble? I got royalty. Got royalty inside.
I got my three.
And I will. No, you know what? No, I was gonna say if it has to like he has to like rap part of the song. It can't just be like they play a portion of the beat and then like as a transition to a different song. Because I have a feeling there'll be a lot of that where it's like, you know, like, interludes, hey, musical interludes.
Yeah.
While like a set design changes or like he moves around somewhere.
Yeah. You know what? I'll stick with. I'll put humble on there. Okay. I don't know if it's actually to get play over DNA because I think DNA is a good pick. And again, I just think King's Dead is a fun song. Okay. I want him to do it.
Okay. What do you think, Todd?
I was gonna put Bad Blood, but I'm gonna omit Bad Blood because I just don't think that's I don't think he's gonna want to give like his time to like Taylor Swift and like take away. That would take too much away.
Honestly, I kind of would love for him to do his part of Bad Blood for the camera to just pan to Taylor and she's like losing her shit.
That would be actually kind of crazy too. Honestly, if there's any reference to that song, whether she's on down there or not, I like that. That's just another power play for him. That's just like another dig at Drake of like, I have a song with Taylor. You don't have a fucking song with Taylor, right? He doesn't have any music with her, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't know though.
Mr. Popstar can't get the biggest pop star on his team.
I'm gonna go All the Stars, DNA, and TV Off.
Okay. TV Off and DNA. Dom hasn't texted me, so we'll just do it in good faith. I'll screenshot it, and then I can't really get points, but I guess I can sort of get points for this. So I'm gonna go with also TV Off, and now that the three of us are doing that, he's not gonna do the song.
Yeah,
right. No, I feel like there's no way he's not doing.
He'll do Squabble Up instead.
Well, I am gonna.
Oh shit!
I am gonna also put Squabble Up because I think that's a lock, and then I think I'll throw a wild one in there. I think I'll go with
King Kunta.
I got the pick. Oh yeah.
If he came out to actually, there's a high possibility I could see him coming out to that song. I got a bone to pick. Like,
I could also picture him coming out to DNA too. That's kind of why I picked DNA because I feel like either one of those songs, I feel like he could come out to.
Honestly, he has a lot of good songs as candidates to like start the show. Like he has a lot of like high energy, like statement making, good lyric, like opening lines that are just like you're paying attention now. Like your eyes are fucking locked on me. Damn, I kind of want to put King Kunta now because I feel like that's such a good Super Bowl song. Bitch, where you when I was walking? Now run the game. Good. Oh my god! Now I'd like need him to do that song.
I don't want to switch.
I mean, you can. We haven't locked in. Nothing's locked. If you want to change before the episode's over, you can change.
I think the only one I'd want to get rid of is All the Stars, but like I don't. And like I'm. No, though. I mean, he's going on tour with SZA. I feel like it. I just kind of feel like she's going to be on that stage. Like,
no, she 100% is. They did a promo. One of the promos leading up to the Super Bowl so far has been he's standing on like a blacked out field.
Yeah.
And he's on the phone. And on the top of the screen you can see like marching, like footsteps marching. And he's having a conversation, and when it gets to him, he's like, yeah, so I've been thinking about potential guests, and as he's saying potential guests, the camera is like far away on him, like high up. It flips to him, like you see someone walking up to him, and it's SZA, and it flips to him when he says potential guests, and she's like dumping a Gatorade like fucking thing on his head. And I will say, in that trailer, they are playing the instrumental to Hey Now, so also could be a Super Bowl song.
Hey Now.
Yeah, that one. Yep.
Or Hey Now, you're an Elsa.
Yeah, he's having Smash Mouth come out.
R.I.P.
All right, TV off, squabble up, and I'm gonna go with N95 because I don't think that's likely, but I would love for him to come out and be like, "This shit hard." Like I would love for that to just be echoing the stadium. It's not gonna happen, but I would love it. All right, we locked? Anyone changing?
I think so.
Good.
No, N95 is not going to happen. I'm going to switch it to Rich Spirit. Okay. We're locked in. So Todd is locking in All the Stars, TV off, DNA. Mike is locking in TV off, Humble, King's Dead. Actually, TV off is going to play. So I'm going to make it harder for myself and not pick TV off. I'm going to do Squabble Up, Rich Spirit, and I'll do 30 for 30. And that's where we'll have it. So as long as they sing a portion of the song, any of these songs, as opposed to like just a quick beat transition interlude, you will get a point for next week. But I think that'll do it. We can wrap things up here. We appreciate you all for listening to this week's episode 457 of the Pass the Control podcast. I don't know. Leave us a 5-star review, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to the show. Be nice to one another. I don't know. We'll see you next week.